Give me Jarrett Stidham. Give me Jarrett Stidham. You heard me. I didn't stutter. Jarrett Stidham, the last time he played meaningful football with the Las Vegas Raiders against the number one scoring defense in the NFL, had 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yes, I'm talking 2022 against the San Francisco 49ers. Jarrett Stidham, unironically, went off, and he was dropping dots. That same 49ers team that made the NFC Championship, but then Brock Purdy got hurt and they lost to the Eagles. Jarrett Stidham was cooking them. Was a lot of it Devontae Adams? Absolutely. Absolutely. But a lot of it was Jarrett Stidham dropping some dots, man. Some real dots. And you look at this Broncos offense, their offensive line is healthy. They're going to have starting tackles. The Texans didn't have their starting right tackle. The Chargers didn't have their starting left or right tackle. You give Jarrett Stidham some time in that pocket. Sean Payton's talking about him like he's like overconfident almost in Jarrett Stidham. Everybody's writing off this Broncos team because it's Jarrett Stidham, not me. Not this guy, not me right here. Give Jarrett Stidham a chance. Type in Jarrett Stidham highlights on YouTube before you just cut some slack. Before you just jump to conclusions. There's a reason he's like, usually backups, if they're one and done. Like, it's very rare you find a backup that's been a backup for 3 years. There's a reason Denver keeps him around. It's because he can ball. Give me Jarrett Stidham. Give me the Denver Broncos. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fire Sports Takes podcast. We're going to dive deeper into this game, obviously. And is that copium? Yes, absolutely. There's definitely some cope in there. You're a fool not to see that. You're a fool not to see that, considering the shirt I am wearing, the team I root for, and how wrong I've been about the Patriots 2 straight weeks. But I'll tell you this, I'm going down with the fucking ship. I'm going down with the ship. I will not pick the Patriots. I will not bet on the Patriots. Give me the Broncos on the money line. Give me the Broncos plus 5.5. Jarrett Stidham has not thrown a pass in 2 years. But he believes he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Sean Payton believes he'd be a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. Everybody's talking about how, Jarrett Stidham was Josh McDaniels' guy, so McDaniels knows his strengths and weaknesses. That's not how I see it. I see it as Jarrett Stidham played his first 4 years in the NFL, 3 years in the NFL, in a Josh McDaniels system. He knows the inside and outs of that Patriots offense. Useful to have when you have the number 3 defense, number 2 defense, whichever way you want to slice it, in the NFL, and you have a quarterback that played 3 years in the offense, in the system, that's coming to town in the AFC Championship game. I think that could be very, very beneficial. And the last time Jarrett Stidham played meaningful football, he had a number 1 scoring defense in the NFL in 2022. He threw for 365 yards and 3 touchdowns against the San Francisco 49ers. Led a 2-minute drill, game-tying drive to force overtime. Some of the throws he made dots, some of them Devontae Adams bailouts. The Broncos are going to need the best version of Courtland Sutton, the best version of Troy Franklin, the best version of Marvin Mims to show up today, because when you look at this Broncos offense and the playmakers they have and how they match up with the Patriots secondary, with the Patriots defense, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. Courtland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims against Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Jalen Hawkins, Marcus Jones. I would go advantage New England. I really would. I would go advantage New England. And before all of the, you're moving the goalpost moving argument comes in, I can already see the comments. The New England Patriots defense has 66 pressures in the first 2 games of the NFL playoffs, in the wild card round and in the division round. That's unheard of. That's ridiculous. Averaging 33 pressures a game, that's silly. But the Chargers had 3rd-string tackles. The Texans were without their starting right tackle. This Broncos offensive line has the lowest sack percentage allowed in the NFL. The Patriots are not going to get 30 pressures on Jarrett Stidham in this game. They just simply aren't. And I trust Sean McVay more than I trust, or not Sean McVay. Oh my goodness, it's late. Cut me some slack here. I trust Sean Payton more than I trust the offensive minds in Houston, LA combined. to be able to scheme some guys open, to have a better game plan for this offense with Jarrett Stidham, who everybody surrounding the Broncos is talking about Stidham like they are fully confident in him. And I watched some Jarrett Stidham highlights from 2022 because that is quite frankly all we have. And they put some good stuff on tape. Like, he's not afraid to push the ball down the field. Justin Herbert was afraid to push the ball down the field. There were guys running open. CJ Stroud wasn't afraid to push the ball down the field, but he couldn't do it accurately. Jarrett Stidham's not afraid to, he's not gun shy. He's going to let it rip. He's going to take his shots. And Sean Payton's going to dial up 2 or 3 plays a game where there will be players open. Like, he's good for that 2 or 3 game. It's imperative that Stidham capitalizes on those. The run game would be very helpful. The run game for Denver would be very helpful. They couldn't run the ball against the worst run defense in the NFL. They averaged like 3.5 yards per carry. Bo Nix was the leading rusher against the Buffalo Bills defense that allowed 5 yards per carry, was bottom 3 in the league in rushing yards allowed. The Patriots with Milton Williams allow just 3.5 yards per carry and 76 rushing yards per game. Not ideal. That's like ridiculous numbers. Without Milton Williams, it's 140 yards per game, 5 yards per carry. Night and day difference in terms of run defense with and without Milton Williams. He has been the best free agency signing of the season. He is the engine in that Patriots defense. If he doesn't play, which he's playing, I'm saying if they don't have him, they aren't in the spot they're in today. They are undefeated in games where Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez both have played in. Their defense is the real deal. It's hard to dispute that at this point, but they also have not played an offensive line in these playoffs that's up to the caliber of the Denver Broncos offensive line. That's just objective truth. All you dumb, low IQ Boston sports fans who think Jason Tatum's a top 3 player of all time, who think Will Campbell's better than Armand Membu. I don't know if we watch the same sports, but that's just clearly not the case. Will Campbell's a real liability. That guy is garbage. We'll get to the Patriots offense in a second here. It's just objective fact that the Broncos offensive line is better than the Chargers and the Texans. You could combine the 2 units, and I would still take the Broncos offensive line. So 33 pressures a game in the playoffs, that's not going to happen. Will the Broncos be able to run the ball? I highly doubt it. Will the Broncos receivers be able to get open? Time will tell, but if you give Jarrett Stidham plenty of time in the pocket for his receivers' routes to develop downfield, I think there's a chance. Jarrett Stidham just needs to take care of the football. CJ Stroud did move the ball well on 3 drives against the Houston Texans defense that I think was the best in the NFL this season. But the Texans' offense also gave Drake May 5 extra possessions via turnovers. Jarrett Stidham doesn't turn the ball over, holds on to the football, long sustained drives down the field, trusts the Broncos defense, wins the field position battle, nothing stupid, doesn't take too many bad sacks. I think the Broncos will be in a good spot here to win this football game and surprise a whole lot of people. I did bet Jarrett Stidham to win Super Bowl MVP. I do not care. $10 to win $200, I'm sprinkling that. Something about the way he talks in his press conference, something about the vote of confidence Sean Payton has in this dude, something about the vote of confidence that this dude has in himself. It's just like, maybe he can do something crazy here. And everybody is writing off the Denver Broncos like they do not have a chance in this game. I don't think that's the truth. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They have the best offensive line in the NFL. You could take Houston's offensive line that played the Patriots, the Chargers' offensive line that played the Patriots, combine them together. I would still take Denver's offensive line. The Patriots have 66 pressures combined in those 2 games against Houston and LA. They're not going to be able to get that type of pressure on this Broncos offensive line on Jarrett Stidham. And when you look at this Broncos defense, they lead the NFL in sacks. Will Campbell has been a traffic cone in these playoffs. Morgan Moses is a fossil. The Patriots' interior offensive line, which has been solid, doesn't have the guys to match up with Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers and company on this Broncos defensive line. Running the football will be a struggle. The Patriots have one of the better running attacks in the NFL. And then on the outside, Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte. The main matchup they have to attack is Riley Moss, but I like PS2 to lock up whoever he's on. And Riley Moss is good in coverage. He just leads the NFL in defensive pass interferences. So if you don't give up big plays, if you don't give up a lot of penalties, if you're Riley Moss, I don't see this Patriots offense being able to move the ball the way they did on the three touchdown drives Drake May led against Houston, because Houston gave Drake May 5 extra possessions. If Denver takes care of the football, they can win this football game. And this Patriots defense hasn't played an offensive line as good as this Denver Broncos offensive line yet this season. Give me Jarrett Stidham. I'm a Stiddy believer. I'm a Stidham believer. I'm a Stid lever. I'm not a Bo lever anymore. I'm a Jared Stid lever. I'm a Jared believe him. I don't know. I can't think of a good. None of those are sticking. None of those are sticking. Either way, I'm going down with the ship. Give me the Broncos. Give me the Broncos on the money line. Give me the Broncos plus the 5.5. Give me Jarrett Stidham. Let's go through my notes here. Offensively for New England, Drake May has 6 fumbles, 10 sacks, and 2 picks. One real one. One of them was a Hail Mary in just 2 playoff starts. The Pats' offensive line has been awful. The Broncos have the most sacks in the league, and the Broncos' defense is elite. First in yards allowed per play, second in run defense success rate, first in pass defense success rate, first in sacks, third in non-blitz pressure rate. They can get pressure with 4, and they have the secondary. They have the linebackers to drop guys off into coverage. You can't understate how crucial Dre Greenlaw and Talon Funga have been for this Broncos defense that was very good last year. They transcended it to a whole different level this year. Will Campbell is garbage. That guy's been a traffic cone. Nick Bonito is going to eat that guy for lunch. The passing game in New England does like to go through the tight ends. The Broncos have contained most of the tight ends they've seen this year, aside from Travis Kelce. Hunter Henry's not Travis Kelce. They held Jake Ferguson to a goose egg. Dallas Goedert less than 20 yards. They have the guys, whether it's Alex Singleton, Dre Greenlaw, Talon Funga, Jade Barron, their other nickel corner, who I'm forgetting his name right now, matching up with the Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper. They can do that, and they have one of the best run defenses in the NFL as well. They can slow down Ramondre and Travion. So I think we're in for a dogfight here. Don't give Jarrett Stidham a chance. Don't give him a chance. In a 1-possession game with 2 minutes left, he'll make you pay. First road game for Drake May in these playoffs as well. Mile High, not an easy place to play. It took him 2.5 quarters to adjust to playing in a playoff environment at home. At home. The Patriots haven't really relied on Drake May a whole lot. There hasn't been a whole lot of game pressure on Drake May in these playoffs because their defense has just been pitching shutouts for them. Well, not literally, but figuratively, their defense has been playing very well. Put some game pressure on Drake May in Mile High. See how he handles it. He had the ball 2 times in the 4th quarter against the Bills with a chance to seal the division. A month and a half ago, he didn't even get a first down. That Bills defense is not as good as this Broncos defense. Let's see how Drake May does with real-life game pressure in the 4th quarter in Mile High Stadium in the AFC Championship game. Let's see what he does then. I don't think it's going to bode well if we get into that scenario. He has proved me wrong plenty of times, so we can do it again. Here are the bets that I like. I've had a really, really bad playoff. 5-8 in the divisional, 4-4 in the wild card round, but I like these plays. Broncos plus 5.5. Broncos moneyline. Patriots team total under 24.5. Nick Bonito sack. That's like minus 130. Jarrett Stidham 2 passing touchdowns plus 265. Half a unit on that. $10 wins like 37, I think it was. So I was half a unit. I'm a $20 unit guy. Half a unit makes 2 units, or half a unit gives me a full unit. That's the payout there. Give me Jarrett Stidham. Ramondre Stevenson rushing receiving is something to flirt around with. I'm not adding it to the slip, but Drake May has been a little bit of a check down merchant, especially last week. I say that, but I don't fully mean that. But he does check the ball down. He gets to his check down fast. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Drake May in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he checks that down, the ball down to Ramondre a whole lot. Give me the Broncos. Jarrett Stidham.